The Chagatai Khanate was a khanate that comprised the lands ruled by Chagatai Khan, second son of Genghis Khan, and his descendants and successors. Initially it was a part of the Mongol Empire. It became a functionally separate khanate with the fragmentation of the Mongol Empire after 1259. The Chagatai Khanate recognized the nominal supremacy of the Yuan dynasty in 1304, but the khanate became split into two parts. The Western Chagatai Khanate and Mofulistan, in the mid-14th century. At its height in the late 13th century, the Khanate extended from the Amu Darya south of the Aral Sea to the Altai Mountains in the border of modern-day Mongolia and China. The Khanate lasted in one form or another from 1220s until the late 17th century. Although the western half of the Khanate was lost to the Timur's empire by 1370. The eastern half remained under Chagatai Khans, who were, at times, allied or at war with Timur's successors, the Timurid dynasty. Finally, in the 17th century, the remaining Chagatai domains fell under the theocratic regime of Afaq Koda and his descendants, the Khojas, who ruled Xinjiang under Dzungar and Manchu overlordships consecutively. Formation. Genghis Khan's empire was inherited by his third son, Ogedai Khan, the designated Khagan, who personally controlled the lands east of Lake Balkhash as far as Mongolia. Tolua, the youngest, the keeper of the hearth, was accorded the northern Mongolian homeland. Chagatai Khan, the second son, received Transoxiana, between the Amu Darya and Sia Darya rivers and the area around Kashgar. He made his capital at Al-Malik near what is now Yining City in northwestern China. Apart from problems of lineage and inheritance, the Mongol Empire was endangered by the great cultural and ethnic divide between the Mongols themselves and their mostly Islamic Iranian and Turkic subjects. When Ogedai died before achieving his dream of conquering all of China, there was an unsettled transition to his son Gayuk Khan overseen by Ogedai's wife Dorajena Khatun, who had assumed the regency for the 5 years following Ogedai's death. The transition had to be ratified in a Kurultai, which was duly celebrated, but without the presence of Batu Khan, the independent-minded Khan of the Golden Horde. After Gayuk's death, Batu sent Burqa, who maneuvered with Tolui's widow, and, in the next Kurultai, the Ogedite line was passed over for Monka Khan, Tolui's son, who was said to be favorable to the Church of the East. The Ogedite Ulus was dismembered. Only the Ogedites who did not immediately go into opposition were given minor fiefs. The Chagatai Khanate after Chagatai. Chagatai died in 1242, shortly after his brother Ogedai. For nearly 20 years after this, the Chagatai Khanate was little more than a dependency of the Mongol central government, which deposed and appointed Khans as it pleased. The cities of Transoxiana, while located within the boundaries of the Khanate, were administrated by officials who answered directly to the Great Khan. This state of subservience to the central government was ended during the reign of Chagatai's grandson Algu, who took advantage of the Toluid civil war between Kublai Khan and Ariq Boka by revolting against the latter, seizing new territories and gaining the allegiance of the Great Khan's authorities in Transoxian. Most of the Chagataids first supported Kublai, but in 1269 they joined forces with the House of Ogedai. Algu's eventual successor, Ghiyas-ud-Din Barak, who expelled Kublai Khan's governor in Xinjiang, soon came into conflict with the Ogedite Kaidu, who gained the support of the Golden Horde and attacked the Chagataids. Barak was soon confined to Transoxiana and forced to become a vassal of Kaidu. At the same time, he was at odds with Abaka Khan, the Ilkhan, who ruled his Ilkhanate in Iran. Barak attacked first but was defeated by the Ilkhanate army and forced to return to Transoxiana, where he died not long after. The next several Chagataid Khans were appointed by Kaidu, who maintained a hold upon the Khanate until his death. He finally found a suitable Khan in Barak's son Duwa, who participated in Kaidu's wars with Kublai Khan and his successors of the Yuan dynasty. The two rulers also were active against the Ilkhanate. After Kaidu's death in 1301, Duwa threw off his allegiance to his successor. He also made peace with the Yuan dynasty and paid tributes to the Yuan court. By the time of his death, the Chagatai Khanate was a virtually independent state. Fall. Duwa left behind numerous sons, many of whom became Khans themselves. Included among these are Kabik, who instituted a standardization of the coinage and selected a sedentary capital, and Tamashirin, who converted to Islam and raided the Delhi Sultanate in India. The center of the Khanate was shifting to its western regions, i.e., Transoxian. The Chagatai Khanate split into two parts in the 1340s. It is debatable whether the Western Chagatai Khanate in Transoxiana and Mofulistan were a continuation of the Chagatai Khanate. In Transoxiana in the west, the mostly Muslim Mongol tribes, led by the Narayanas emirs, seized control. In order to maintain a link to the house of Genghis Khan, the emirs set several of his descendants on the throne. Though these Khans ruled in name only and had no real power, the eastern part of the Khanate, meanwhile, had been largely autonomous for several years as a result of the Khans' weakening power. This eastern portion was, in contrast to Transoxiana, primarily inhabited by Mongols and largely followed Buddhism and Mongolian shamanism. Tamashirin, however, was brought down by a rebellion of the tribes in the eastern provinces, and the Khanate became increasingly unstable in the following years. In 1346 a tribal chief, Amir Khazahan, killed the Chagatai Khan Khazan Khan ibn Yasur during a revolt.